I don't know. This is, mom of the year. I doubt it. Highly doubt it. To me, if she was such a great mom and she is still certain values in her son up until this date, he wouldn't have been out there in the first place throwing rocks. He would have been on the side with the other peaceful protesters and not with the rioters and the looters. A lot of people are giving this woman credit, saying she did the right thing, she saved his life. How so? We don't know that. Do we not remember the uncle who whipped his nephew on social media, and shortly after that, the nephew was still murdered? So his attempt to save his life didn't work. We don't know how this public humiliation and public emasculation will manifest. We don't know how he's going to respond to this. We don't know how people will respond to this from seeing him being beat all the way home on national television. Not to mention his mom's going on TV doing interviews about the situation, trying to get her 15 minutes of fame, right? I'm not against physical disciplining your child at all, but the public humiliation is a problem. Not to mention, she's a woman, that's her son. The whole beating on your son thing for a female, that's not going to last too long, right? Eventually, that's going to be ineffective tool for him, and it's not going to work anymore. People say, well, what should she have done? She could have walked up to that man, gave him a hug, and said, let's go home, son. She could have came pleading and begging for him to come. The way he backed down when she was swinging on him shows that he has some respect for his mother, that he didn't peel that raccoon stuff off her head. She didn't have to come at him that way, publicly. She could have waited till he got home and beat his ass. Whatever. I'm just not feeling this public emasculation. And there's so much emasculation of black men in the media, on television, on TV and whatnot, that it's just like, it's no. You got, the new show on Oxygen with a bunch of faggotry going on. You got these rappers wearing dresses and all that nonsense. You got Terry Crews, who is like, for 1 minute you think he could be a positive role model as a married man and whatnot, and then he's taking off his shirt, wearing bras and acting stupid. It's like, it's too much faggotry being promoted with black men. Then you got, this nonsense being emasculated from the world. People saying things like, my parents did this to me and embarrassed us in front of people. I'm like, that was not in a social media age. That was not when, everything's going viral in 10 minutes and this never going to be forgotten. Well, you will be famous for this. So I don't think you compare what happened back in the 80s and 90s to, what's going on today with social media. And then we got the deflection of, where's his father? As if the assumption is that he just abandoned him. We don't know that. We just assume. Could he be dead? Could he be in jail? Could he not know he have a son? All are possible. But the assumption is that he just abandoned his son. Who knows? And then we get into this whole thing of, well, he's in that situation because his father wasn't there, or his father didn't help. But had he grow up to be, i.e., a Dr. Ben Carson, a surgeon, raised by a single mom, it's more power to mom. But then when he comes to be a little hoodlum throwing rocks at cops in a protest, where was his father at? Can't have it both ways. Can't take credit for when they come out good and shift responsibility when they come out bad. It don't work like that. I understand her response. She's a female. She was emotional. She reacted out of emotion. That's one of the problems I think with females being in a disciplinary situation with their kids, especially their sons, is they bring so much emotion and other garbage and baggage into the discipline, right? Again, she probably thought what she was doing was right in her own mind, and that's why everybody's giving her Mom of the Year awards. But I think there's another aspect of it where, as a boy, growing up to being a man, there are times in life where you may have to rebel in certain situations. And I wonder, what does this do? Is she teaching him, to be a man and step up to the plate like we're always being told? Or, how to decipher from when to do that and when not to do? How many women are dissuading their sons to make them more passive and responsive to authority, even if it's in the wrong situation where they should stand up for themselves? I think that's not a good look. Also, to the whole father thing, I kind of bet that if a father was the one who came out there swinging on his head like that, it would have been a different story. A father might have been even attacked for swinging on his own son like that in public. Hell, she might have been the one to even swing on him for disciplining his son. It's okay for her to do it, but not the dad. Again, the image he's still being shown around the world is, black boy being punked off by his own mom, black boy being emasculated by his mom in front of the whole world. It's not a good image. Again, what was my solution to the situation? Come up to your son, give him a hug, say, let's go home. She didn't have to come out from that way. I don't know what's up with, like a lot of the media outlets, right or left, CNN, all of them. Time magazine wrote the forget the National Guard, sending the moms. Like, I don't know. Like, they're something about that is odd to me, that they keep promoting this matriarchal nonsense. The moms will get it done. Forget this. The guards and all that. This son's mom, but every boy ain't gonna respond the way he did. Some boys will swing off. Some boys will pull that raccoon stuff out of her head. Every mom ain't got that much power control over their son. I don't know. I'm a little less tired when I started doing the video. A little more energetic. But I think the situation is all bogus. It's malarkey. You got, man, it's just, to me, it's like a distraction, honestly. I don't even get it. You got all these different news networks, left, right, center, whatever. They're all, praising this woman. Fox News, they're putting the mother of 6 children out of wedlock on a pedestal, talking about mom of the year. Really? Normally, this is the chick that, Fox News says, like, you don't want to be her, right? You don't want to, this is the stuff that, how you end up in situations with economic disparities, and you end up in impoverished communities because, you have all these children by multiple people, and, there's no father figures around. Like, you don't do that. That's normally Fox News, but they're even on this, let's put her on this 15 Minutes of Fame. Give her. I don't get that. Then you got, like, liberals who, Rosie Perez from The View talking about, I usually don't support violence, but in this case, I'm going to, like, even the liberal don't hit kids people are like, yeah, she did the right thing by, giving them a 2-piece in front of the whole world. Like, come on. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Right? When Chris Carter, this man was on TV crying, my mama beat me, she was wrong. Everybody was like, you're right, Chris. We're talking about all these progressives and leftists in the media, like, don't hit children. Even though, the situation with Adrian Peterson was extreme, still, it sparked a conversation about hitting your children as a form of discipline, period. And all the leftists were like, no, you don't do it. But now all of a sudden, they're giving this woman kudos. It just doesn't smell right to me. And then, this is the thing that I don't get either. Like, if the whole point of these protests and these riots and whatnot are due to police brutality and excessive force, how do you justify and praise a woman beating her child's butt with brutality and excessive force? Now, my issue is not with the physical discipline. My issue is the fact she did it in front of the world. Like I said before, she could have easily gave the man a hug, so let's go home. It's that simple. She didn't have to do all that. What even makes it worse is she's going to all these talk shows, making herself look bad with the whole, I got 6 kids, I'm 42, and I'm a single mom. That's not a good look. Then this boy is being raised in a house with 5 sisters and a mom with no dad. How long does she think them 2 pieces are going to work? Eventually, he's going to get bigger than her and stronger than her, and if he's not the man he's supposed to be by then, what's going to happen? You don't start parenting at 16 years old. He should have already had those things instilled in him. This is something that I don't do, right? At, before 16. Like the other moms who told their kids don't go out there and they actually listen to their kids. And then I'm tired of the whole where's your dad at thing when, boom, if he was Dr. Ben Carson raised by a single mom, give the moms all the credit. Boom, he turns into a hoodlum. Where was the father at? That argument is so annoying. I don't know. It's just whack.
Not what, I'm a single mom, I have 6 children.
So, you about 30? 30? Didn't you see my big boy? I got a boy 18.
Oh, well, you know, some girls have babies when they're 13, 12.
Well, I was 18.
Oh, you 36? Holy Christ. How'd you wind up with 6 kids?
Well, haven't you heard about us ignorant black bitches always got to be laying up with some dude just grinding out them babies for the taxpayers to take care of? I get $30 a piece for them kids. Oh, I'm living like a queen on welfare, you know.
You jumpy.